The race continues, and Anatan's lead is building for that first place spot in Season 8. This time, he has the Ottomans, Beasty to the Mongols, and we are on Rocky River. One and all, welcome back to the Age of Empires 4 action. You already see how different Mongols have to play in this particular matchup. Ottomans open with Iraqs, and as a result, you are not going to get your classic aggro Mongol player. Instead, you're going to get the please don't hurt me, I have sheep approach. Uvu opening into pasture shows you that Anatan will not be able to find any real value out of this opening. And as a result, we'll have to play a little bit deeper. Interesting matchup overall, though. Mongols versus Ottomans. I think Mongols can be favored with the Deerstone build going into the extra range, but it's still tricky. Ottomans are kind of surprisingly effective with Sipahi here. What are the ELO scores on the top three? They are lofty, actually. So, time of recording, Anatan first place with 2,358 ELO. Louis MT in second place with 2,220 ELO. And then just two behind him with 2,218 ELO is Beasty on his Worm account. After that, I believe we have Baltoon, who hasn't played for like a week, and he's about another 100 ELO behind. And then you've got Corvinus, who hasn't played on that account in 20 days. He's been using his Smurf to try and keep his ranking on top of the ladder. So yeah, a lot of people just pussyfooting around playing their main. I'm calling them out right now. I'm going to open up the day up. We're gonna list off some names. They aren't going to like that I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, Anatan, Louis, Worm, first, second, third. They've all played within the last 24 hours. Baltoon has not played in 17 days. Corvinus has not played in 18 days. Quackity here has not played in 10 days. Sassy did play 1 day ago. Props to him. He actually queued into Beasty. Scarlet Devil has not played in 13 days. Voldemar has not played in 3 days. And Wadid has not played in 20 days. Wadid? Who was that? Apparently a Romanian account. I have not seen this before, but it seems like a Smurf. It's only been active 1 season. But yeah, those are your top 10 listings at the time recording. Kiljadi's feeling like an old man as well. He hasn't played for 3 days. So if you're wondering why did I list all them off, it's a call to action, guys. You know, you light a fire under their ass. Hopefully. Because I need to see these boys sweating it for that top spot. Kind of a big deal for Beasty, right? I mean, he's built up a reputation as the guy with the expectation to always be first. I think I checked it, and of the previous 7 seasons, I think it was 4 of them, Beasty got first place, which is kind of wild. Anatan, of course, wasn't really playing at that level a year ago, even. So, kind of curious what the future's going to hold. Sultanate Trade Network is going to be coming through from the Ottomans. On the other side, it is going to be the Deerstone play. So, I'm wondering if Anno just kind of hunkers down. Did he shove deer in as well? Oh, he did. Well played. I wasn't glancing at. Were they spawning here, I'm guessing, judging by the look of the map? So nice use of the 2 spearmen. I kind of like that, right? So you offset the Mongols' opening play by building Iraqs. You built 2 spearmen. If you just have 2 spearmen, it's complete waste. But getting that deer shove in most definitely makes it worth it. And the sheep on top of it as well. Good lord. I keep calling him Sheep Whisperer, and you guys are seeing why. 18 sheep. Meanwhile, on the other side, Beasty, of course, does have more, but he should have more of that pasture. So he's sitting on 19 sheep. Yeah, it's the fact that he has the pasture, but also he's got the Khan. The Khan should always be getting more sheep than the Ottomans here, especially on a map like Rocky River, because on Rocky River, about, I'd say 2/3 of the sheep, it feels like, spawn in the central river area. And that means that you can get there first, because with the Khan, you have the maneuver arrows. So whenever you're playing on this map, folks, you're playing Mongols, dart to the center, use the signal arrow straight away, and you should be able to beat any other Civ there first. So tech up's complete. Let's see what the intent is going to be here. Archery range beginning. Yeah, it makes sense to count the spears, right? But that does enable the idea of Sipahi, which is very desirable for Anatan. I wonder if we are going to get that. I mean, we've got a blacksmith, but he's stockpiling a lot of resources, so this might simply be a fast castle rush by Anatan. Bit tricky, but he has got the outpost up, so yeah, it looks like it is going to be. So this would have been tricky because of the 4th spawning goal, but Anatan has met the conditions, right? This should be fairly simple to do. Although as soon as I say that, what on earth? Should have been simple to do. if it was archers. It's not. It's Mangadai. And what is up, No Momo Tumochi? Thank you very much for the Prime sub, buddy. Welcome to Swarm. Remember, guys, if you have got the Prime subs, they are free. You are basically giving Bezos money if you do not subscribe to this channel. So we're going up as well. This is actually really important. Considering it's a Mangadai play, you need to stave off options here. And this eliminates most. There's only one funnel area you need to wall, and it's right here. At that point, Mangadai shouldn't really be able to dive you quick enough in this game. Kind of crazy, though. We've been seeing Mangadai rise up through the rankings, getting picked more and more. And we've actually got an intent to trade. Oh, that is sick. Anatan already with the game sense to know it's coming. So the scout is going to delay this, but we'll have to run away. If you're quick enough, by the way, the scout will be able to get away alive, but it looks like Anatan's might simply die here. Yeah, I guess the tricky part is you could try to run away, but there could be another Mangadai, so in some ways it's better to just deny this. But the sheep! Okay. Yeah, that was well played. Beasty was quick on the reaction, but Anatan, what an absolute griefer there. Delayed the trade setup by what? I'd say about 30 seconds, 35. Totally worth it for a guy who's going fast castle. Oh, that was absolutely brilliant. And it looks like Beasty is maybe following into castle here. Memon Imperial Army is going to be on the way. Mark my words, folks. When we get into Season 9, this is not going to be the meta. It will be for like the first 2 weeks before players start waking up to how good Istanbul Imperial Palace is. Because habits, right? You do what you're comfortable with. So, what's Beasty's transition here? Because your opponent's probably going to open lances, so I imagine he's going to do the classic and prep crossbows. Mongols are always very comfortable doing that. He will have the Yam to utilize. Outside that, I mean, Keshix doesn't feel really good here for Mongols. This is why this matchup can be a bit rough, is like Keshix, one of your best units, isn't viable because your opponent has Janissarys, right? So instead, I think actually what you're going to see him do is lean crossbows, go for the Khan Hunter, which he already has here, by the way, and that will give him the 5.5 tower range on his crossbows to easily gun down things from afar, right? Like Ottomans, they can do a lot of things. They can buff their attack speed, their armor, but they can't get more range. Well, they can't get that much more damage either. Kurutai now on the way. Double Lancer immediately queued up here. Anatan, it's quite interesting actually. He prepped this blacksmith very early, probably earlier than was necessary. But it is at least going to net him Undermesh at the very beginning of his age up. Double Lancers are definitely going to find that quite useful, considering that guarantees that the Mangadai damage cannot go above 1. I don't think you're going to see BC upgrading to veterancy either, guys. Like, free Mangadai, the cost of veterancy just doesn't make it worth it, right? It's 350. So he'll probably just kind of shrug and accept that these units have served their purpose, or he hopes they have, and move on. Tough part for me is the dude's only just started trading, and Lancers are coming. So this trade play for Beasty has not paid off whatsoever. Meanwhile, what the hell? The Imam sneak out all the way to the back corner. I wonder, Beasty should see this. It should be dead obvious that this is here. But right now, the Mangadai aren't reacting to that. They're reacting to the Knights. Imams are taking full advantage of that. Damn, what a play by Anatan. In a castle rush from both sides, this gold gathering from relics is more important than bolstering trade, right? One comes in very fast, one is very slow. Knights are going to force the idle time. He's got the dive underway. Steel Arrow isn't in yet. Deerstone will at least protect Beasty's economy here. The traders might not be so lucky, though. In fact, yeah, he's going to club in. Can't hang around, though. Best thing you can do here, if you're Anatan, by the way, is split the Knights into 2 groups. Don't keep them together, because now it means that your opponent can keep chasing in one direction and still kill back-to-back. To answer that question, Chill, you've always wondered whether Camel Riders fully upgraded are better than Camel Lancers in one-on-one. They are indeed. In fact, Camel Riders are better than Camel Lancers in a 1v1 without even being upgraded once. They destroy Camel Lancers. Camel Lancers have 20 less health, they have a worse attack speed, and their base damage is worse because a Lancer will do 24 damage, whereas a Camel Rider with their bonus damage will do 28. So when you mitigate the armor, that puts them at even, but the difference in attack speed is 1.18 versus, I think it was 1.5. And also a Camel Rider has 270 HP, so 60 more. It's truly not even close. But damn, Beasty going full Magadai. I mean, the mangoes are here, right? So this could go smush real fast. One of the tricky things about this, I think, for Beasty is it's much harder to micro multiple groups than Magadai than it is to micro multiple groups of Lancers. And what I mean by that is you can get a lot more damage done by just A-clicking a Lancer in every different direction than A-clicking a Magadai in every different direction, right? Because these are glass cannons. They're also slower, remember? 1.56 instead of 1.62. So yeah, a little bit tricky for that reason. And that's the big difference, right? Like, you look at this count, 8 Magadai, 8 Lancers. 8 Lancers can dive this base easily. 8 Magadai diving this base will just get melted. I know. Looks like the Gold Heist is working out quite well. He did get intercepted on the south side, but this was the safest relic for Beasty. And Anatan took it. It's at least going to be cleared. And it looks like we have got an Archer transition on the way from Anatan. It makes a lot of sense considering it's mass Magadai. Archers are the counter folks. They're very cost efficient as traders up against these guys. Also, even better for the Ottomans because they do have the meta that can give the +1 ranged armor, which is huge against a unit that has low attack speed, or sorry, high attack speed, low damage. Oh, sorry, he didn't fail to bring that relic home, by the way. He got him. So this could easily be a 5-relic game at this pacing. I mean, Beasty is just going raw Magadai. There's a point at which you want to get off at the next station, right? And I think we're there. You know, if someone came on my bus ride and started yelling Magadai everywhere, I'd want to get off pretty fast. Especially against Ottomans. The issue here is the mangoes. It's always going to be the mangoes. Like, how do you now penetrate this base is the issue. You have got trade going on, so I kind of see where Beasty's coming from. His thought process is that he will scale eco, so it doesn't matter. The issue is more the Lancers that can sneak out, though. If these Lancers just creep out one by one and go after the trade, you won't ever see an economical advantage for Beasty. In fact, you're still not seeing it here for him. He keeps losing units, right? Like, he's had 5 worker deaths so far. Might soon be more. Beasty bringing the full aura combo here. Both the Deerstone and the Kurultai moving across. I wonder. Anatan, does he not just go into the base? I think you do here. Leave everything else at home, but send in the Knights. Instead, he's actually bringing Archers and the Mangonel. And he might be able to pinch this. Check this. He sees the landmarks. So Beasty has to pull them away. Knights are just going to dive in here, though. Magadai are in position to react, but love that peel of 1. Anatan just wasting all their time. Means the Lancers can dive in for free here and cull down the villagers. What a charge through. Immediate strike in. And just like that, several more villagers dead. What's that? I think he got 5? Possibly more. Deerstone Kurultai is going to unpack, so there will be some reparations to be had here. But you can't chase for too far, folks. The issue he's now got is there is a Mangonel coming. There is Archers as well. Mango Shot is going to go in and connect. We'll be able to back away from this. Now, Beasty, he's prepping Keshiks. This might be what we needed. We said just going Magadai alone would backfire, but it's almost like he was waiting, baiting, anticipating that Anatan would overreact and only go one-dimensional. He has done that, right? He stopped producing Lancers. It's all about the Archers now. Oy, oy, oy. And yes, you are correct. It was 5-11. Look at you. You know, look at you, so switched on to Berliner. I guess you must have got your hands on some of those coffee coolers from Protein Works. You know, they do wake you up. Or maybe the new Tropics line, like the blue raspberry that we're drinking today. Exclamation mark Protein Works. Dive in again, though. Oh, my. Double Mango is a really big problem here. He's actually using Beasty's own base against him because the Keshiks won't be able to access. So Lancers just park themselves here. Mango shots aren't going to, of course, connect, but he can always creep for the sheep. Gone's going to pack up. Great read there by Beasty to get out of the way for the dive in. But the Mangoes, can they be reached here? Keshik's dive in. They will be able to start striking at this. The Mangoes will get a reload before they die, though. In fact, the Keshiks can't quite finish it off. Mango's still alive. One gets struck down. But in the meantime, the Magi, look at their health bars. Unbelievable fight there. Beasty was on the verge of mopping up both Mangoes and getting a win. But Anatan threaded the needle. Second wave of Keshiks will at least come in to clean it up now, but a lot of damage has been done here, folks. 3 more worker deaths in Beasty's economy. Archers are going to continue to trade out with the Magadai. And the Keshik play has been revealed, but it's kind of at its infancy after those losses. 7 Keshiks in total now, but crossbows and Janissarys are already being prepped. Damn. You might be wondering, why did Anatan not go for Janissarys sooner? The reason is the deer hunt. The Deerstone, rather. The Khan Hunters would have given the Magadai the range to kite Janissary. That's what he was worried about. But there's a reason why Anatan's army looks maybe not as big as it should be, and it's because of what he's doing at home. That's a free TC boom. Anno, after aggroing and being happy with the results, immediately triples up. Yeah, check the stats on what we're talking about with these Janissaries, by the way. If I can find the Gunner Boy. Right there. So 3.5 tower range, and the Magadai will have 5.5. It's pretty crazy, actually, the amount of range you get with these guys. Well, that's the Khan Hunter. The Magadai themselves will get the 4.75. It's a 1.25 tower range advantage, which means that Janissaries do not counter Magadai. So I'm glad Anatan stopped building them, because it would have been a most painful defeat if he continued. Army trying to rat. It's how that wall that wasn't complete did buy just enough time to force the retreat. So backup walls coming in. And looks like Anatan is going to start to hunker down here. Farms will have to be established, and that is now underway. So that will give him the lifeline he needs to forward free TC here. I'm wondering actually how many military schools do we have? Because I don't feel like this is full power. Ah, that's why. They're a little bit spread, so they're not all getting buffed by the blacksmiths here. But Anatan's getting pretty knee-deep in it, right? At this point, the Vizier Council points are starting to come in. You start to feel like you've got kind of a Castle Age Plus approaching. Beasty still never tried for those relics, right? So 3 banks so far for Anatan, and still 2 more on the table. One of them on the edge of his base. Keshiks are going for the drive-by. Won't be able to hang around too long, though. Walls almost complete at this stage. And Beasty, what's the next play out of this? He's just kind of massing Keshiks. It's kind of wild, actually, because if you continue this trend of Keshik Magadai, Archer Spearman is actually the counter. Who's favored in this matchup? I think Infantry, Mongols, and Feudal is favored now because of the Deerstone. But it's finicky to play around, because Sipahi can ruin you. However, as this game goes later, Ottomans historically were favored because Keshiks suck against Ottomans, right? So your premium unit is lost. But once again, the Khan Hunter might be the MVP, saving the day, given those extra ranges, right? That's why Magadai was such a smart idea here by Beasty. Felt like Anatan just had a soul read on him, anticipated it so early. Hello? We're fine. Kind of surprised BC hasn't gone for these relics still. It's very unlike him. I know he's a big boy when it comes to focusing on those relics. Like I remember when the 2 monastery builds started to come back in, he was one of the players doing it alongside Louis a lot. So far, he's just entirely neglected it. So probably feels like he doesn't need that extra influx of gold. Feels like it would be kind of sacrificial to take away from his military massing to build into what is essentially eco.
Your mind should be daddy.
And hold on a sec, let me get that over the right type of area. Hello, MSN. Thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Janissary is now starting to scale a bit for Anatan. So he didn't go Archer Spear in the end. He actually went Janissary Spear, which is really surprising against the Khan Hunter. However, the Mangonels should be good enough to carry against Magadai either way. Beasty, with the mass cav, doesn't have a way of getting siege engineering improved and using it. It's making it tricky as well. Once you're at like 3 Mangonels, the healing of the Kurotai doesn't matter because these poor little Magadai will just be dead. Squished underneath a ton of rocks. Man, it feels like Beasty needs something else, guys. The more and more he gets into cav, the worse it's gonna get. Like, I can't believe he's mass caving against Ottomans. That's like some truly unhinged gaming. This is like the #1 civ you don't just mass cav against because of what he's spamming into. Janissary count now up to 16. Remember, these guys get double damage versus cav. Looks like Deerstone now on fire, so landmarks at risk here for Beasty. In fact, needs to be careful not to have this Kurotai getting pinched. We're about to get it out just in time to unpack. Army is marching out though, and I just don't see how he takes this fight. Like Beasty, the problem here is he's got a raiding comp. He has absolutely no answer to a bulked army around Mangos. And now he's going to lose the Kurotai as well. That's the other thing that feels really weird here. I think Kurotai is so difficult to use with Mass Keshik, Mass Magadai. It was good in the defense, it kept him alive, but on the offense, you just move too fast to ever leverage this. I'm wondering, maybe, do we just see Anatan try to die for a landmark victory? The Deerstone's almost dead. That would mean only the TC would remain. I mean, I see no reason not to. You've got 43 spears. You can burn this crap down to the ground. Deerstone now being repaired to try and stop that from occurring. But trade is now being intercepted here, folks. And this might be the end of Beasty. It's 100 military to 36. Triple up. Soon to be bigger. Spearmen going for the brace. They immediately start pinching the Keshiks. Archers are just dealing with the trade in the meantime. And the TC is fully dove. Magadai Keshik's now arriving home. It's going to be basically a last stand here for Beasty. Mango comes out into the wing. Spearman, big mistake made there with the rally point. Should be able to shift it away just in time. The Mangos, I think, are heading home. Wait, where are his Mangos? Yeah, he definitely retreated them. So Anatan willing to throw away the army, but for good reason, folks. He's idling out the economy. He's killing traders. Behind this, he's starting to stockpile a lot of gold. We might be looking at a play into Imperial Age next for Anatan. Magadai will at least be able to mop up on the backside of this. That was a throwaway 100%, guys. The reason you can tell that Anatan was just throwing away crap tier units, he still has 18 Janissary. He kept them in reserve, so he's just basically keeping Beasty entertained while he focuses on building a better army and getting towards Imperial. Kind of intriguing, actually. I wonder, because I think Anatan potentially could have broken the base. He brought the whole force. But he's a little bit paranoid, right? That maybe Beasty was going to try to break through the wall when he saw that dive coming in and counterattack. And that's another reason why you keep the Janissaries at home. Tech up now coming. And Beasty is not ready to go into Age 4 whatsoever. His food income, his gold income are both abysmal. Food can at least be fixed quickly, but that gap on the trade definitely hurt him. Trade count now sitting at 31, which means he is getting the full bang for buck with the Silk Road there. Is it going to be enough when you go up against the might of the late game Ottomans? Farm count for them is now at 39. Gold access is there on the south side. 5k still to work with, so plenty to push with in Imperial. Beasty has started to prep his own Mangonel spam. An interesting choice here. We basically have a mango off between the two. The difference is that Beasty paid full price for these, whereas Anatan got them all for free. These could easily now just be better. Tech out complete. Janissary guns immediately gets queued alongside the elite. Now, one interesting thing in this matchup, one dynamic that matters, is if Beasty can get into Imperial Age, one area in which the Mongols can compete is anti-siege. They have the longest range anti-siege in the game with the improved shutter triggers. But we're a long way away from that, folks. So Great Bombards shouldn't be the be-all, end-all if it's imp on him. But for now, they most bloody definitely are. Still getting set up. Looks like a raid onto the villager line as the wood is being harvested for the front side of the base here. It's giving me March out to meet. 5 mangoes. I can't remember what comes after quadruple. Centuple, I think is correct. I probably said that wrong. Centuple mangonel. Soon to be Hexa. 6-1 isn't here just yet. The Cereals are marching up. Beasty looking to punish Anatan for this tech maneuver. Mango shots. That was close. Cereals are going to start trading out against this. The Mangoes just trying to punish the clump, though. The siege. He's actually countering the Mangoes with his own. Janissarys in trouble, though. Look at the count. Anatan throws away a lot, but he gets the value in return. Elite Janissary shred. 43 damage per strike. Keshix, Magadai, everything dies, right? Magadai die in 2.5 hits. Keshix is something like 4, maybe 5. And considering the attack speed on these guys, they're absolute Gatling guns. Damn, Beasty. It's crazy, right? Like, he focus fires those mangoes on the Janissaries, and still, it's simply not enough. Now in the retreat, he might not have enough time to try and rebolt here. 16 military versus 47. The Spearmill count is about to shrink quite heavily here as the Spearmen are able to chase this down. Tricky game now. Because Beasty, it looked like he was getting ready to go into Imperial, but remember, you can't like drop a castle and cover your tech up the way most civs would. You're stuck here. Damn, I was right about quintuple. But I was wrong about sextuple. I think I went hextuple. I was close, though. Shouldn't get hexes and sexes confused. You'll leave a witch's hut very disappointed. Anatan looking to disappoint Beasty, though. Because he was hoping he was going to shrink that elo lead that Anatan is starting to inflate here. But I don't think that's going to be the case. White Stupid now in the way, but the trade is about to get cut off. Mango also getting intercepted. Luckily, there's enough Magadai there to stop that from going down. But look at the split on the map. He may be able to block them on one side from this raid, but he will not be able to block both. Villagers having to shuffle away. So big idle time at a point where Beasty needs all the income he can get. He's got nothing in reserve. Nothing in the chamber. And Anatan, like a boa constrictor here, wrapping himself around the Mongols' perimeter. "24 traders just not working." So basically, a quarter of Beasty's economy is idle. Although it has a semblance of an army coming together, I start to feel like he needed to go for Khanate instead of White Stupa. Because the numbers just don't support a defense here. Beasty, the issue he's having is, you know, if he roams around with a big group, sniping these small groups off, great. But there's going to be a trade-off. You may be able to win the military fight, but what's the other 4 groups of Anatan doing? Killing stuff. Everywhere. Like over here. And here, and here, and here. Do I need to continue? There's just everywhere at this point. Janissaries have basically half the trade account. Actually, no, they've wiped the trade account. Only 3 left. Oh my god. And correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that Beasty is actively gathering gold with villagers, no. So his ability to build Magadai, to build Keshix, to build anything or upgrade anything is about to be gone. Villagers are going to try to deal with that mango, but guys, those are Janissaries. Without textiles, you do not want to have to do this. He chases for more. Mango's going to pull away. That means the Janissary can farm them up. And if it's not killing villagers, they're going to happily kill traders instead. This is completely unraveled, guys. So it turns out that mass cavalry is not the answer to Ottomans. Who would have thunk it? Oh, what a brutal game. I mean, in some ways, the Magadai, I think there's something there. Beasty's definitely cooking the idea of the Khan Hunter with the extra range against the anti-cav gunpowder units, but he was never able to really reach that strike point where it mattered most. GG comes out, and Anatan firmly positions himself in that #1 spot for the Season 8 leaderboard.